Imagine waking up one morning to discover that nearly $1 billion worth of priceless treasures, masterpieces of art, simply vanished overnight. Not from a bank vault, but from a world-renowned museum. And here's the kicker. It's been over 30 years and not a single piece has been recovered. The criminals? Never caught. The art? Gone without a trace. This isn't a movie plot. This is the true story of the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist, the biggest unsolved art theft in history. And today, we're going to dive deep into exactly what happened and why, all these years later, this mystery continues to baffle the world. Why does this story matter beyond just a thrilling true crime? Because it's a stark reminder of vulnerability even in places we deem impenetrable. It showcases the audacity of human greed, the chilling precision of a perfectly executed plan, and the frustrating reality that sometimes justice remains elusive. When masterpieces by Rembrandt, Vermeer, and Degas disappear, it's not just a loss for a wealthy institution, it's a loss for humanity. These aren't just paintings, they're pieces of our shared history, windows into different eras and symbols of human creativity. Their absence leaves a gaping hole in our cultural tapestry, a constant nagging question mark that begs for answers. What really happened that night, and who could possibly pull off such a daring feat? Our story begins in the early hours of March 18, 1990, St. Patrick's Day. Two men dressed in Boston police uniforms pull up to the Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum. They buzz the intercom, claiming to be responding to a report of a disturbance. The security guard, Rick Abeth, a young college student, makes a fatal mistake. He lets them in. Think about that for a second. Two supposed police officers in full uniform at 1:24 a.m. It felt official, legitimate, but as soon as they're inside, the facade drops. The officers immediately subdue Abath and the other guard, binding them with duct tape and leading them to the museum's basement. His wasn't some smash and grab. These weren't amateurs. They spent 81 minutes inside the museum, that's right, over an hour. They didn't just grab a few easy pieces, they carefully selected specific works, cutting paintings from their frames with unsettling precision. Can you imagine the sheer nerve? Two men, alone in a silent museum, methodically dismantling cultural heritage piece by piece while two guards are tied up in the basement. They even tried to take a Napoleonic flag from a pole but couldn't get it down, leaving behind a valuable piece of evidence they literally couldn't handle. What did they take? Oh, only some of the most iconic works in existence. We're talking about Rembrandt's The Storm on the Sea of Galilee, his only known seascape, a painting so dynamic you can almost feel the waves crashing. Also a small Rembrandt self-portrait, Vermeer's The Concert, one of only 34 known works by the Dutch master. Think about that scarcity. They also took several pieces by Degas, a Manet, and a Chinese bronze beaker from the Shang dynasty. The estimated value? Around $500 million back then, which would be close to $1 billion today. These weren't random selections, these were specific, high-value, highly recognizable works. This tells us a lot about the thieves. They knew what they were looking for. They had a shopping list. But this also creates a massive problem for selling them. How do you fence a Vermeer without the entire art world knowing exactly where it came from? It's like trying to sell the Mona Lisa on Craigslist. The very fame that makes these pieces valuable also makes them impossible to move on the legitimate market. So why, after all these years and a $10 million reward, are these pieces still missing and the culprits still free? Well, there are many theories, but no solid answers. The initial investigation was hampered by several factors. The security system was outdated, the guards were undertrained, and the crime scene itself was quickly compromised. The FBI has investigated countless leads over 3 decades. They've looked at everyone from local Boston mobsters, particularly the late crime boss James Whitey Bulger, to international art trafficking rings. There's a strong theory that the art was stolen by the Boston Mafia to be used as bargaining chips for reduced sentences for other crimes. Imagine holding a Rembrandt hostage to get a friend out of jail. But even if that's true, where are they? Other theories suggest they were shipped overseas, buried in a field, or simply destroyed. Some believe the pieces might be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right moment to emerge. The biggest challenge is the nature of art theft itself. Unlike stolen cash or jewelry, stolen masterpieces often disappear into a black hole. They're too hot to sell publicly, so they become a kind of underground currency, traded amongst criminals or held for ransom. The truth is, the longer they're gone, the harder they are to recover. Time blurs memories, witnesses disappear, and evidence grows cold. The Isabella Stewart Gardner Museum heist isn't just a story about missing art. It's a testament to human ingenuity, both good and bad. It's about the audacious lengths some will go to for illicit gain and the profound impact of losing irreplaceable cultural treasures. It reminds us that security is never absolute, and that even the most daring crimes can sometimes remain mysteries for generations. But it also fuels a hope that one day these masterpieces might resurface, and the full story of that incredible night will finally be told. Until then, those empty frames in the Gardner Museum stand as silent witnesses to history's greatest art heist. What do you think happened to the art? Do you believe it's still out there, or do you think it's gone forever? Share your theories in the comments below. If you found this dive into one of history's most fascinating mysteries intriguing, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to Snagz TV for more untold stories, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss our next video.